J-I-T.
JMI.
J-I.
JMI.
JMI, ladies and gentlemen. We have a band with us. As you can see, they are glossy, not because that's how our makeup artists want them to look, but because they come off the performance from the green room. How was the performance? Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was
I
so
heard
much
you're
fun.
shaking. You're
in
getting
studio.
something nice.
Yes.
Sound-
Yeah.
Do you like the space? It's nice recording here.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
It's
cool.
really
Okay.
cool.
I heard we were making your studio shake.
Yeah,
Thank-
sorry about that.
Thank you. No, I don't think we felt there is quite a bit of protection.
Yeah.
So I think we're
As if someone
fine.
came in and said that, so. we figured.
Yeah.
Junk made ill. Why is such a name?
Well, so I've been playing music forever with Dave over here, right? He was the A&R at my first label, and we would just always fall into like, or maybe I would just always fall into really shitty situations. And so every time I would write a song about it, it was like this idea of, you know, alchemy and like making something that was really bad into something nice, right? So junk made ill is like junk made ill, you know, like turn that nastiness.
cool.
I still don't know if I could. I just
Yeah,
swear.
like, here's a
I think I
perfect
swear.
example.
We have
I'm
you.
not allowed to swear.
Don't tell me
Here's a
music.
perfect example of junk made ill, right? So once upon a time, Jamie had this like guitar that she found. It was this like just pink
That's my pink
guitar
guitar.
just lying around and whatnot, and it was like being thrown out or something. It's like a piece of crap type thing on the floor, and she picked it up, put purple strings on it, and turned it into like something that.
They were
Amazing.
pig
It was-
strings.
Sorry, sorry, my bad.
I don't
Pink
mess with
strings.
purple.
How
It's
do you
pink.
She's a
control?
pink girl.
Who is the boss? How do you guys control each other? Like, how's
She's the boss.
She's the boss.
She's the
Don't need
boss.
to think about
She's
that
the boss.
very long now.
Do you guys feel intimidated that the girl?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's not like that. It's like
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I like it.
It's
I
like
like
a
having her
family.
be the boss.
Yeah, when we
As a
all
family.
three of us first got
Yeah.
together, we just vibed really well. So
Yeah.
But
it was sort of natural.
there is always dynamics when people want to be on top. Someone wants to be more. Just let me do my part. And how do you find each other? How is that dynamic built?
Okay, so I think the dynamic was built because Dave is the most understanding human being in the world,
Okay.
and I'm like totally batshit crazy. So basically, like he came along and just sort of guided me in my beginning stages of, you know, writing music and then into producing and stuff like that, and sort of just like let me be myself. So we've known each other a long
Why do you
time.
do this?
Because I saw something in her the first time that I was introduced to her back, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. Like she had that like thing, like she's a great in front of the camera. She's a performer. Like she can get the crowd going, and it's just really interesting. And the music was good too. It was like a nice little fusion.
How
of a
do you
couple-
build the trust? Like you trust each other.
Oh.
You go on the stage as a team. So a lot of people, they don't trust each other. How that you told strangers 6 years ago, now you crew.
Because he let me be. So, like, for example, one of the times where we had our first kind of, like, New York show, we were coming into Brooklyn, you know, basements. I was creating my own shows there. I had, like, a complete meltdown, you know, and I was sitting on the corner, like, hurled in a ball. This is no joke. And he's like, where are you? Like, we're going on. And I'm like, no, like, not happening. Like, I'm outside. And then, you know, he came over and said some crazy things to me, and then I just went on stage. So, like, basically, he just lets me get that stuff out. So I think, like, that's my trust with Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all have great trust between each other.
Yeah, and I would never, like, yeah, and this one
Trevor.
was he was, like, the triangle, you know? Like, I feel like he came to me through a good friend, Michelle, and she just was, like, one day, I was literally praying. I was, like, praying for the right drummer, because we've gone through a bunch of drummers. And then she just walked up to me randomly one day and was like, hey, do you need a drummer? And I was like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Like, why would you say that to me? And then, you know, he came to the rehearsal and we were like, yeah, whatever, another drummer, another whatever, another. And then we just, like, it was cemented. And I think that maybe he's the one that sort of, like, grounds the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'm way up here and Dave's kind of, like, circling and Trevor's, like, the rock.
The cynical
Okay.
one.
You know?
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how do you guys divide, like, when you make some money? Like, who makes the financial decisions?
Evenly.
Evenly? Like, but there is no.
Anything.
Like, no, I mean, not in terms of number of money.
Oh.
In terms of decisions, like whether we go for this gig, we take that much, or we go for that gig, we take that much. How do you make those decisions? Is
I
there
make those decisions.
Yeah, she pretty much makes the decision. She just calls us up. She's like, "Oh,
So
hey."
you
I
just
don't-
tell
I
them
don't- and
they
actually, like-
accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
trust her.
Yeah.
I trust
So
her.
you
I
they have
I
to
make
full-
decisions too, like that are on. I'm like we played Highline Ballroom last month, and you know it was like benefit concert for everyone that has been affected by the hurricane, and it was also like around 9/11, so we were just giving to a bunch of charities like the Bookers, and you know, I actually probably shouldn't have done that without saying something to you guys, but I got on stage and I said that I would give everything. Normally you give something. So then when I said, hey, are you guys okay with like actually giving that everything, and they were like, of course.
I feel like you knew we would be okay with it.
Yeah, like they're not.
Okay.
They're really good people,
Okay,
so I just wanted to give
you
it.
have responsibility. You have two nice guys who
They're the
totally
best.
trust you.
The best.
What keeps you up at night? How do you like? What do you worry about?
The world. I worry about like many. I think I worry about everything. I literally think
But
that
in
they don't
terms of
worry
music,
about
in
anything.
terms of your group, like,
Oh,
is,
if like I'll be able to, you know, like reach people the way that I want to, if I'll be able to affect someone's life in like a positive way, that I think that some artists that brought me into singing and stuff did that.
But okay, some people perform by themselves. You guys perform as a group.
Mhm.
Why do you don't have 10 people group? Why don't you do it by yourself? Like, why 3 is that's the number you want to be? Are you looking to add more folks to your crew, or you just that's how you want to stay forever?
We kind of looking for the 4th person
Mhm.
because we think we could add a bassist that would be also like multi-dimensional. Like for example, if you saw like just now you saw, well, you didn't see, but we played one song. So
I'll see it once.
right.
It's
Okay.
not
Well,
editing.
I would love you to see it. But like this we play, so drums, we were playing guitar, keyboard, singing, right? And then we switched during the set a lot. So
But we
I
all
think
play
we-
multiple instruments.
right. So
Yeah.
I think that we would love to have someone who is like a bassist first, and then
Bassist,
something else.
If you're watching us, what's your Instagram?
Junk Made Ill.
Junk Maydale. Maybe you can write to these folks, and they might accept you. to
Oh, we
their
would love it.
loving
Let's have
crew.
auditions. That'd be
Also,
so
yeah.
fun.
Going back to the trust thing, like also it's hard finding someone else because you got to be able to trust them
Yeah.
with the same type of trust that we've obviously built up through the years.
Some
So-
crews stay for a long time together. Some break at some point. What do you think? Why people break, and what's going on in the? How long is average life expectancy for the crew?
I think
Interesting.
that's really dependent on the band
Communication.
itself and the communication and the people in the band itself. Sometimes you
Personalities.
just
Do you think, like,
personality.
your families pull you apart? Your other people
or
are
you have
trying to steal the
obligations.
talent. Are you trying to collect, get the energy off each other? Like, what's going on? Like,
I think we're very like I just think we're loyal to each other in that respect. Like we know what this is. We're loyal to that.
so you bring everything you find, like, just to the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just think like, well, I think that bands fall apart. I mean, maybe it's just like at some point someone
Ego?
needs something new. Ego, I for sure think it is. Because like, for example, there's many times that we could have a full-blown fight about something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
And-
like
and
one
how
of
do you
us
make
will
up?
step up and just sort of be like, okay. Like I've also done that at some point, you know, and you just have to understand each other. And the biggest thing is communication. So that's like so corny because everyone says that. Like when they say like, how are you married 50 years? Communication, right? But it really is true because it's just like, hey, like I didn't just try to like, you know, be a, like I don't have the words because I can't swear. Can I swear? Whatever.
That's better.
So like,
We
you know,
wanna
I
get
didn't
it
just try
approved.
to, yeah, I didn't just try to like, you know, whatever, mess you up. I can't talk. But like, what I meant was this, and like, if you can say like where you were coming from, and I think that the other people will allow you to say that. And even though that doesn't sound like a rock band, that sounds pretty corny, but like it's true.
There are some bands who call themselves clean bands. They don't use any foreign language. Clean band, like meaning, meaning that they don't use the foreign language and stuff. And some
Oh,
bands
I'm like
like,
those
say what as it is.
words.
They're clean.
So they have.
yeah.
My aunt is gonna be so mad at me when she sees this.
So what's the difference? Like, what kind of things that you can say that the F word or words of that nature makes a difference, and in the clean band missing?
Does
Do you know
anyone else wanna
what
take
I'm
that
trying
one?
to
Well,
go for?
what exactly? I mean,
Yeah, no.
you say yeah.
let's
but
say
follow.
there are bands who do not use any
profanity.
Any profanity in their
profanity,
music, okay.
right? And there are bands who actually like rappers. We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
full of it. So there is a difference, like in terms of audience, what you can reach, and what are the benefits and the disadvantages of either wall.
Well, I mean, disadvantages is you can't play
Yeah.
it everywhere if
Yeah,
you're
you
cursing.
cut out a piece of your
But-
audience that you want to reach.
But I
So
think
you
I
lose
think
the beat, and that kills the
Yeah, it definitely
the
kills
feeling. Wait, or it's you record a different version of a song. Without
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So we have a release coming up, and there are F words in it because it's a really meaningful song for me about breaking through something, and that just came out in this actual rap part of it because there's like a more rap part of it, and I just think it was natural, like how I spoke, so it came out. But we are making a clean version for the radio.
I also
'cause
feel
don't want
that like
people-
the profanity though, it's like when you use it right, if you use it like in the right show emotion or to when it's appropriate, not like F this, F that, or you F that, so it's like, but when you're doing like 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 you're screaming, you're in pain or something, you're like
But
so
as
it's
an
like-
artist, it's do you feel that you don't have enough education or language or the words to describe itself, and you need it, or it's just because that's how the audience will relate to it better? Like why the profanity is so important in
It's
the
emotional.
art.
It's
emo-
emotional.
it's
It's definitely
evokes emotion.
emotional.
Pure
It's not like
emotion.
it's
Yeah.
not like a lack of
So
words. It's-
Shakespeare is very emotional, but
True.
I don't think he used that much of profanity.
My family will love you. They're gonna be like, oh my god.
Shakespeare
They're like,
also
why
didn't-
didn't you meet Mr. Great before? Because I've had this argument at the dinner table before.
Okay.
And it's
Shakespeare
just-
also didn't wear heels and have an electric guitar.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Dave.
Just saying. Just throw it out there.
What's wrong with the heels? It makes
No, he's
feet
just-
longer.
No,
I guess-
no.
They're just
Different circumstances.
uncomfortable.
Like
It's
you say, Shakespeare didn't use any profanity in his sonnets and his plays and
Well,
whatnot.
I would.
Okay, so a
not
little
that
bit.
much.
I've never read a lot of Shakespeare to be honest with you, but like that's totally different than playing a rock band with like people who are drinking, enjoying, having a good time, dancing. There's like a much more different like crowd and experience.
I'm
that,
sure at the time of the Shakespeare, people drink and drunk in this show.
Okay,
I love it.
Okay.
Mr. Gray's taking on Dave. This is so fun.
Challenge you.
You can come to the
Okay.
studio anytime,
you
please.
know.
Okay.
So fun.
Okay, guys.
I think you
Please
should
follow-
try not to swear, right? But if you do, like, in its actual art that comes out, because it's actually, I just read an article on Facebook. I know it's horrible, but someone posted something that said artistic and higher IQ level people swear more. And I don't know if that's true, so
Okay,
you shouldn't
we-
listen
we-
to me.
We can Google it and.
Yeah, you can Google it. Someone posted it, but
Google
I actually am sad I sweared because I want to like reach a younger audience. So I'm really about that, and I'm not saying swear, but it's like maybe when you hear the song, you can tell me what you think about it. But it was just like there was nothing else I could go there in that moment because it was literally
Oh.
like my heart is like.
How do you know Ruben?
Yeah.
Like, you're coming from Ruben crew, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So
Ruben.
What?
Ruben and I,
Oh,
Dope
Ruben,
Chef.
yes.
Yeah.
I was
he,
like Ruben crew.
him and I have some various outside projects that we work on together, and
Okay.
we became friends through
Okay.
these projects, and yeah,
Cool.
here now.
Yeah,
So
we love
Ruben-
Ruben. He comes in. He
Um,
recorded rap at the
Chief,
studio.
Chief Dope, thank you for introducing us
Thank
to such
you.
an interesting crew, and
Thank you for
love
having
to
us.
see the video after
you.
this.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye guys.